Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready? Okay, good afternoon, Cheryl. Last time you were here, you talked about your feeling anxious about balancing full-time school and work. You
Mhm.
also mentioned your perfectionism could be a problem. You felt that your anxiety hasn't affected your school or your work life yet, but you wanted to go through counseling to prevent it from getting worse. Am I correct?
Yes,
Okay,
that's right, Julie.
okay. Okay, Cheryl, I like to use what we call a scaling technique to discuss how you feel about balancing school, work, and anxiety. It helps us to see where you are right now and where you want to go. This is why we can better grasp the changes you want and how you want to team up and get this taken care of. On a scale from 1 to 10, how anxious do you feel right now? With 1 being you feel completely calm, or 10 where you feel the most anxious you have ever felt?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Um, well, right now, I probably say maybe a 6.
A 6? Okay, okay. So, Cheryl, that sounds great. So, you said you're at a 6. What do you think would have to happen for you to drop at least 1 point?
Very good. Um, well, hmm, probably not if I didn't feel like I had so much on my plate. I just feel like I have so much going on, and so that kind of keeps me in that anxious state. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yes, it does. It does. Okay. We're also going to use what they call a problem free talk technique. Before we examine your challenges more closely, Cheryl, let's also discuss some things that are going well with you. Recognizing your strengths and moments when things feel more manageable can be also helpful. Can you remember a recent time when you felt more in control of your anxiety?
Hmm. Yes. Well, I think when I exercise on a regular basis, um, that may be a general answer. I don't know if that answers it right, but I know my anxiety lowers. And I think when I have so much going on, I tend to, that seems to be like the first thing that goes out the window, which probably is not good. In fact, I'm sure it's not good, but I think that's what happens is I feel like I have so much and I think something's got to go. So then I just don't exercise.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you. What was working well for you at that time?
Um, well, I was exercising and I was eating right. And um, well, I wasn't juggling school and work, you know.
Yes, yes, that sounds great. Okay, what things in your life bring you peace or comfort right now, even with all of the stress of trying to manage everything? Did you understand that question?
Oh, yeah. Say that again if you don't mind.
Okay, what things in your life bring you peace or comfort right now, even with all of the stress of trying to manage everything?
Mm. Um, well, definitely prayer. Definitely spending time with the Lord. Um, and I'm not a good singer, but I do like good worship music. And
Oh,
so if I am heading to work and I listen to some good praise and worship music, that gets my focus off all of the stuff going on, and I give it to God, and that releases that anxiety.
that sounds great, Cheryl. Yes. What things in your life are giving you peace or relief right now, at this very moment?
Oh, um, well, I guess just talking about it's helpful. You
Okay.
know, I think
Yes.
sometimes I just, you just, or I just go, 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 and you don't really process what's going on. And
Okay.
so I think just talking about it's helpful.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Most definitely. Okay. Despite the stress and balance, everything. So, how do you balance this stress on a daily basis?
Well, not like I should.
Okay.
Um, um, I think I just do my best to take it just one step at a time.
Okay.
You know, where I get in trouble is when I think too far down the road. If I
Oh,
can kind of pull it back and then
mhm.
just think of, okay, Cheryl, you just have to do this right now. Just focus on this. That helps.
Okay, now that really sounds good. I'll say, okay, we can continue this scaling and problem-free talk techniques to measure your feelings as we proceed. We'll focus on your strengths to help you prevent your anxiety for getting worse and reduce it eventually altogether. How's that sound, Cheryl?
Oh, well, wow. Well, if we can get rid of it altogether, I'm telling you, I'll be referring
Yes.
all my friends to you.
Oh, wonderful. I can use that too.
I will be
Okay,
glad.
yes. Okay, Cheryl. Here are some things that I would like for you to do at home to manage distress until we can just get rid of it completely because it's going to take a little time because with you managing school, work, and you was telling me some other things that you have going on as well. So what we want to do is we just want to kind of just take this real slow, work
Okay.
on it, and get you to that point of not being stressed at all. So Cheryl, I want you to write about your thoughts and feelings daily to identify any causes for your anxiety. Then I want you to take a few moments each day to do short breathing exercises. Like you said, you do your, but just while you're sitting down, just, and that will help you pull the anxiety thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That
Okay.
says, and then we want you to plan your week with specific time slots for school, work, and we also need you to do some self care. Because if
Yeah,
you're not taking care of yourself, Cheryl, the school and the work, they're not going to work for you at all. And that's where the anxiety comes in because Cheryl needs some Cheryl time. You understand
that's
what I'm
so,
saying?
yes, that is so true, Julie.
Yes. And it says, and keep a list of situations where your perfectionism caused this stress. Because, see, you want to be perfect, and we're not perfect. It's only one
No,
perfect person, and that's God. So we have to
exactly.
realize we just have to take the time and just know that we're not perfect. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then the last is Cheryl, I want you to please keep a daily journal where you rate your anxiety and write all of them down, what you did that day to help you lower it. Look at your patterns so we can discuss that at a future session. Okay. So,
Okay.
Cheryl, that will wrap us up for today. You go to my secretary and get an appointment, and we will see you next time. And bring these things with you to that show me that you are trying to lower that stress.
Okay, great. So I'm going to bring the journal next week when I
Yes, we're going
come.
to start bringing your journal next week. And each week we will start to work on each problem that you have written down and get you to that point of not being anxious anymore and just having your day just to go perfect.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I
Yes.
look forward to that. I feel just a little more relaxed knowing that there's hope.
Yes, there is definitely hope. Because like you said, you pray and you meditate and everything. And with that prayer and meditation, it comes where your anxiety will work itself out. What you just need to do now is know that you're not perfect. That's
Yes,
it.
yes,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
true. Okay, thank you, Julie.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Hi, Julie. It's good to
Hi.
see you. Hi.
Yes.
Did you find the location okay? I know this is your
Yes, I
first time.
did.
Oh, good, good. I'm glad. Glad you didn't have any problems. Well, I
No,
know
I
we
did.
good. Well, I know we talked a little bit on the phone, and so you shared just a little bit with me about dealing with anxiety and frustrations and how the words you used, they were starting to cloud your judgment and that you're getting concerned with how that's affecting your home life and your work life. So, can you tell me just a little bit more about those anxieties and frustrations?
I don't have a lot of anxiety because I can't put things together. I don't know if I'm doing things correctly. I don't know if I'm getting them done on time. I don't know if I can put things where, just like if I'm doing my classwork and I'm cooking at the same time, then I smell something burning. Then I get anxious and I end up throwing food away that I could have salvaged. So
Okay.
I find it very difficult to put a lot of things together. I try to do too many things at one time.
Okay. All right. And so that's where, so what does that anxiety feel like when you say you get anxious? What is that? It sounds like you're doing too much at once. But what does that feel like for you?
It feels like that my heart is racing. It feels like that my head is starting to hurt.
Mm.
And then I get this bad headache and my chest started pounding. So I feel like I can't breathe.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. And so when that happens, what are you telling yourself? Can you think back? Let's find a time. Maybe was there a specific time when you were trying to cook and do some work and you were feeling anxious? Like what were some of the things you were telling yourself?
I was telling myself I'm going to have to slow down. I need to get my work done, not try to cook and work at the same time. Just get the work done. Once I get that done, then go in and start preparing to cook. And then if I need to go back and do any work, wait until I'm finished cooking, go back and work, and then I'll finish with the rest of my day. I find that once I just do one thing at a time, I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, excellent. So it sounds like when you're telling me that, what you're describing is some really good self-talk that you've done once you realized and you've caught yourself. Do you see
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
So think back on what were you thinking before you got there? What kind of anxiety were you dealing with? Um, were you just feeling like, I'll just throw out some thoughts and you tell me if they resonate. Were you thinking, I have so much to do, I better hurry up, I better cook and study at the same time, or there aren't enough hours in the day? How am I ever going to get this done? Like what kind of anxious thoughts are you having?
It's just like the first one that you said is like, okay, am I going to get all this done at one time? What am I going to do? I have too much to do. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to have everything done in just this little bit of time. I might have an hour. And I'm like, how am I going to get all this done in an hour? My mind is telling me, okay, you have everything under control. You
Mhm.
have about 30 minutes to do this. What you're cooking tonight is going to take about 15 minutes. Most of it is just put in the oven. So why are you anxious? Just go ahead and do it. But my mind is like, no, I'm not going to be able to get this done in an hour. I need more time.
I hear you. I hear you. So it sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. Yes.
Okay. And so when you say you use the word, we're kind of focusing on anxiety, but you also had mentioned frustration. Um, how do those look different? What does frustration look like for you?
Frustration is when I'm trying to do homework and cook and my food starts burning. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
really not burning, but I get I start getting anxious and I start getting frustrated. Okay, I'm burning my food. I'm gonna have to throw it away. There's more money. Food costs enough now.
Yes.
So I can't burn this food. So I start to get frustrated. That anxiety first, then the frustration follows.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's good. It sounds like you were really getting, Julie, what you're going through. And that's so much of it is understanding those steps to how we end up where we are.
Yes.
So what I want you to think about, let's think about what are some things that you can tell yourself when you're getting to that point, or even before you get to that point where that food's about to burn, whether it's literally about to burn or you just feel like it's about to burn. What are some positive things you can tell yourself? Because the negatives, we know this is so much, I've got so much going on, I'm never going to get this done. So what are some statements that are true to you that aren't, we're not just making this up, like just trying to be positive. What's something positive you can, um, that you might really work for you?
I think that what I can tell myself is, okay, Julie, let's get up in the morning. Let's pan out our day. This
Mm,
is when we're going to do this. Okay. You get up at this time of morning, just get up, do your prayer, your meditation, get on your family prayer line. After you get off of that, then do a little homework, get ready for work. When you come in from work, if you have any homework left over to do, get it done, then cook. So I feel like if I would just map my day out from the time I get up till I go to bed, same thing the next day and the next day, I believe that anxiety will leave and that frustration would not come.
that's excellent, Julie. That's excellent. And I really like what you said about mapping out your day. So it sounds like you're a morning person, or would you say you're a morning person? Or
Yes, I am.
okay,
Yes, I
I'm picking up on that. So here's what I'd like you to do, if you're willing to try this, is as you're when you're mapping out your day, and this is not to add more to your plate, this is to help you lower that anxiety. I would love to see you have a little journal. It even could be with your prayer journal, and write down 3 positive things that you are going to think about in relation to your day, managing your day. 3 things you can say to yourself. I'll give you an example and then you tell me maybe some things that you think. One thing that you might say that could be helpful is, um, I, I am making a plan that lowers my anxiety. Does that make sense? So
That
like I'm
makes sense.
saying right there, I'm making a plan that lowers my anxiety. So what's something else that you could say to yourself that you could write down that would be positive to lower that anxiety and frustration?
Like you said, making a plan, but I can also add, you can do this, Julie. It
Yes.
is not impossible. You can do this. And I have to
Yes.
continue to tell myself daily and daily and daily.
So good. And I love that, Julie, because it is true. We have to be our greatest cheerleaders. We really do. This world can just pull us down, and there's so many things going on. And so if you can tell yourself that, I love that. So that's something you can write down. Very good. So do you think that that would be something doable, that every day you could write down 3 positive things in the morning?
Yes, I definitely could.
Okay, great. And then what I'd love you to do with those things is I would love to see you in the course of the day, uh, as frustration comes up, maybe, maybe you're at work and you're starting to think about, you've got homework, you've got to cook, whatever, that you could remind yourself of one of those things that you had written down that morning. Do you think that's feasible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. That's great. Um, and then one other thing that I would love for you to consider, and you could do this any time of the day. You could start in the morning, or you could start in the afternoon, or I mean, do it during the day, whatever, you start to feel that anxiety coming on. And you know what it is. You said your heart starts to race. You start having, thoughts about, I got to get this done. So you know the things that's when that anxiety is coming on. So when that starts to come on, I want to encourage you, as basic as it sounds, to breathe.
Okay.
And so what I'd love for you to do is I would love for you to try something really simple, but breathe through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And let's just do that together just 3 times. Okay. We're just going to shut our
Okay.
eyes, or you can keep them open. And we're just going to breathe through our nose really deep.
Okay.
Try to do that. And then exhale through your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale through your mouth. Let's do it 1 more time. Breathe in. And exhale through your mouth. Now, what's really important to remember, make sure when you're doing it that your shoulders aren't going up, because
Okay.
that's bringing more tension. I don't think I saw you do that, but that's just something to remember.
Okay.
And then what I'd like you to add to that in your head, we're going to do it 2 more times. But this time, what I'd like for you to do is we're going to breathe in and breathe out. But when you breathe in, I want you to think re. And when you breathe out, I want you to think lax. So we're basically saying relax. Okay. So we're going to do that. And let's just take a moment just to be quiet. We're going to shut our eyes. Let's just be quiet just for a moment. And then I'll say start, and then let's try that. Okay. Okay. Let's start. And breathe out when you're ready. Breathe in when you're ready. And breathe out. Okay. So, any thoughts on that?
I did get relaxed.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad. Good. And that is something that I want to encourage you during the day, because anxiety builds. And so if we can catch it early and we can calm our nervous system down, our body responds to that, our brain responds to that, and then we're calmer. And one thing I want to encourage you, if work is super hectic, um, and you just don't have any alone time, you always have alone time in a bathroom stall.
Right?
But isn't it true? Isn't it
It's
true?
true. It definitely is.
And so hopefully you can do that breathing just at your desk. Um, and would that be feasible? Could you breathe at your desk? Is that possible where you work?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, because I'm in a office by myself. So.
Oh, well, great.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, then that totally would work. Then you
Hmm.
can scratch that bathroom stall. You don't have to worry about that. Well, good. So then I would love for you to do those 2 things this week. Is Well, we're really doing 3 things. You're watching your self-talk. You're thinking about how you're talking to yourself. And
Hmm.
then in the morning, you're writing down 3 positive things, ways to frame the day, frame how you're managing the day to lower that anxiety and frustration. And so that's really working with self-talk,
Hmm.
and and then what we call reframing, where you're using positive statements to counter those negative statements. And then lastly, just to use a really simple relaxation tool that helps just to catch it and before the anxiety gets too big. So when you get home, you can finish that homework. You can cook that meal. And the goal is, how can Julie be the most relaxed Julie that she can be? Does that
Okay.
sound good?
Yes, it does.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Well, this has been wonderful, Julie. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you're willing to try this, and I have just I just know good things are in store for you and I have great hope for you. And if I look forward to seeing you next week, if that sounds good to you.
This sounds great. Yes, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. All right.